Let's take a look at the news around East Africa. From Kenya now, researchers have discovered an Asian giant lion in Kenya. The team unearthed the lower jaw, teeth and other bones of a new species and calculated it would have weighed up to 1,500 kilograms and could have preyed upon the elephant-like creatures that lived there at the time. News from Tanzania. The head of Tanzania's main opposition party has condemned what he described as a climate of fear installed by a police state after he was held in prison for more than 3 months. Freeman Mbowe, head of the Chadema party, and fellow lawmaker Esther Matiko were arrested in November after they failed to appear in court twice to face charges of a protest march in February 2018, during which a 22-year-old student was killed by a police stray bullet. From Southeast Sudan, South Sudanese President Salva Kiir has offered to mediate on the ongoing political transition in Sudan after last week's fall of President Omar al-Bashir. Kiir's office said he was ready to support the democratic aspirations of his former advisory in Khartoum and help bring about a peaceful transition. Beyond East Africa, let us take a look at the news around the world. Now, from Sudan, Sudanese military rulers have arrested 2 brothers of deposed President Omar al-Bashir, Abdallah Hassan al-Bashir and Albas Hassan al-Bashir, as hundreds of people marched in the capital, Khartoum, calling for a swift handover of power to civilian leadership. The announcement came as sources say Sudanese authorities have transferred al-Bashir from house arrest to Koba prison in northern Khartoum. Moving on to Ivory Coast, Ivanka Trump, U.S. President Donald Trump, his daughter and senior White House advisor, say that societies that empower to succeed are more peaceful and more prosperous. And this is evident in all the research seen at an auditorium full of female business owners, community organizers, politicians and students. Her appearance at the Women Entrepreneurs Financial Initiative Summit in Ivory Coast was Trump's last stop on a 4-day tour of Africa to promote a $50 million initiative signed by her father in February that is aimed at encouraging women's employment in developing countries. News from North Korea. North Korea said on Thursday it no longer wanted to deal with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and said he should be replaced in talks by someone more mature hours after it announced its first weapons test since nuclear talks broke down. Now, the North's official KCNA news agency quoted senior foreign ministry official Kwon Jong-un as warning that no one could predict the situation on the Korean peninsula if the United States did not abandon the root cause that compelled North Korea to develop nuclear weapons. The statement came shortly after North Korea announced that leader Kim Jong-un had overseen the testing of the new tactical guided weapon, which KCNA said has a peculiar mode of guiding flight and a powerful warhead. Let's go to New York. A man has been arrested after walking into New York's St. Patrick's Cathedral carrying 2 full petrol cans, lighter fluids and lighters. They said guards confronted the 37-year-old as he entered the Manhattan Church on Wednesday evening. He spilled gasoline on the ground and officers took him into custody. Deputy Police Commissioner John Miller noted that the suspicious incident occurred 2 days after a fire gutted Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris. St. Patrick is a seat of New York's Roman Catholic Archdiocese. News from Libya. Some 205 people have been killed, including 18 civilians and 913 wounded in 2 weeks of fighting near the Libyan capital of Tripoli, according to the World Health Organization. Now, shells slammed into a densely populated district of Tripoli, piling misery on civilians from a 2-week assault of Commander Khalifa Haftar's forces to take Libya's capital from the internationally backed government. Closing off the news around the world, a story from South Africa, where South Africa Minister of Police Betty Cele says he wishes private citizens in the country were not allowed to bear guns, admitting it was a tall order after watching police destroy on Wednesday more than 30,000 illegal firearms that were surrendered or confiscated.